Hey, my name is Ling. I'm now a student of George Brown College. I'm in video design and production program in my second semester, and I'm happy to be here today.
So, could you introduce yourself?
Hello, I'm Steven, and I'm currently a film student in George Brown. My course is video design and production. So, yeah, hello.
Hi, I'm Nicolene. I'm a video design student and yeah, I'm a friend of Steve. I don't know what to say. I'm Nicolene. I write. I make movies, not films.
Hey, hi, hello. My name is Laura. I'm 19 years old. I'm a student in George Brown College and I'm in the video design and production program.
What's been keeping you occupied during this pandemic? Did you form any new hobbies like everyone else?
Not really. I was like just studying all the time and watch some TV shows, shooting some projects. Yeah.
What kind of TV shows and movies have you been watching recently?
I liked Sweet Home. It is a Korean TV show. I watched it back to back 3 times. I like it a lot.
We all had a lot of free time during this pandemic. What has been keeping you busy? Did you form any new hobbies?
So, because of this pandemic, there's not really a lot of stuff to do. It's been a stressful situation. So I did not pressure myself to learn a new hobby like other people did. I just took this time to, reconnect, reflect, and basically give myself a chance to just, don't feel bad with doing completely nothing, in a way. I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah. What's keeping you occupied during this pandemic? Any new hobbies you've learned? Any shows that you've been binge watching lately?
I haven't formed any new hobbies, but I have been able to make more time to write. So I guess you can consider that as my win. And as for movies, I started watching the classic movies like Scarface and horror movies like The Shining, The Silence of the Lambs, which I enjoyed it, but I had a hard time sleeping after, so yeah.
Understandable.
What has been keeping you busy lately since we have so much free time?
Gosh, sleeping more than anything. Like my sleeping schedule was all over the place. There were times where I literally slept all day and was awake all night, and I was to keep myself busy when I was awake. I was just watching different TV shows and movies.
So what kind of TV shows and movies have you been binge watching?
My best friend, she told me to start watching Gilmore Girls. I really, really enjoy it, especially when it comes to dialogue. They have really good dialogue.
There must be some way out of here. Oh.
How's your life as a film student during this pandemic?
It's okay, but with some struggling because we're not allowed to go out a lot to meet a lot of people. We have to keep in our social bubble. But in terms of being a film student, it's much more difficult for us.
So, how's your life been as a film student during this pandemic?
A whirlwind, a roller coaster of everything that you could ever imagine. I don't know what else to say. I feel like this is the first time that, a student who studies film has ever experienced this kind of situation. So I feel like I was punched in the stomach because I enrolled to the school to enjoy the full experience of it, getting to the campus, enjoying the equipment and the facilities. But due to the pandemic, I mean, it's no one's fault, but like, it's sad. And struggle. It's huge struggle. A huge struggle.
How was your life as a film student during this pandemic?
It's definitely, it wasn't great. It wasn't terrible either. It was just like, me personally, it was really hard for me to be motivated in general. Like, the assignments they gave us, I just didn't want to do them. I just didn't have the motivation to actually get up and make them. Especially because I couldn't, when it comes to making something, creating something, I'm really critical of myself, and I'm really a perfectionist, and I knew that with the limited equipment I had and the limited help I had, the things I would make, they weren't going to be great. So having that in mind, I didn't really put my all into them, and so I didn't really have a motivation, and I wasn't enjoying myself doing those things. It was more like a burden. So it was awful. But now that I'm with more classmates and I've met them personally, and I actually can call them my friends, and we hang out and we help each other and collaborate, it's way better. Like, I'm actually loving it. Like, for some time I was actually doubting myself into choosing this career, this industry, because I was like, maybe I don't like this as much as I thought I would, and because I was doing it on my own. But now that I'm actually hands-on and making better projects than in the first semester, I know that I actually love doing this.
I can't keep calling you my dear. Oh, 'cause I'm feeling so great.
What's the biggest struggle that you've had during this pandemic?
To have a crew, that's one. The other one is to have equipment, because we're supposed to have some like cameras, lightings, different like stands, C-stands. I kind of can't remember those names because we only heard of them in class, but we have never like have our hands in them. So like we have to learn the equipment, the tools we use for making a film, but it's hard to just to watch and remember them. And also for some of our assignments, we will have to have those equipments to finish our work.
What's the biggest challenges you've had as a film student?
Ooh, I mean, there's a lot. I have my own standards and expectations, and in every project that I do, I always make sure that, you know, I pour my soul into it. But because of like the restrictions, I feel like I'm letting myself down and I'm not meeting my expectations, and I wasn't able to fully showcase the abilities that I can, you know, offer to the projects because I need equipment, and, you know, I'm broke. I couldn't really afford buying my own equipment. I mean, I've been trying, but like, it's been a huge struggle. And with the amount of projects that we have, surprisingly, I'm just like, whew, it wasn't good for my mental health, just because seeing the projects that I was been producing and seeing that it's not my best, that is just, you know, it hurts my soul as a creative. But what can we do? It's how life works. But yeah. What do you think are the struggles and challenges you have experienced during this such uncertain times?
Maintaining my attention in class. Like, it's been extremely difficult to wake up in the morning for my 8 a.m. classes because I'm not really required to get out of bed, and for me that's the biggest difficulty. I mean, there's a lot, but like that's the biggest one that I can think of right now.
Probably the lack of motivation and productivity, as well as zero creativity, because I feel like I get a lot of my creativity from the outside world. Of course, movies like give me some ideas as well as some books I read and videos I watch. But when you are out there in the world, walking around, seeing people, that's when I get my ideas and my inspiration. But in the pandemic, I couldn't really do any of that. So all I saw were the same four walls every single day. So coming up with new ideas and creative and unique ones, it was really, really hard. And also that didn't help to my motivation and my productivity at all.
'Cause I'm feeling so great. Never got the time of day.
Yeah, for me, the biggest one is I kind of have less pressure to communicate with my classmates because I'm a shy person. If it is face to face, I will be very shy to initiate the conversation. So since we are now doing like online class and we do a lot of group chats in Discord, in WhatsApp, it's easier for me to do so. Yeah, that's the benefit.
Ooh, I wouldn't really call it a benefit, maybe more like a challenge to myself as a creative. You don't get the luxuries of going into a studio, borrowing equipments. You need to be a little bit more creative in doing your projects. But like, this pandemic has taught me to be more creative in using what available resources I have already, because buying equipments by your own is very expensive and I highly do not recommend it. So yeah, I feel like this pandemic has been challenging me to be more resourceful and making sure that I still do my best but like work with what I have, because if I keep stressing on like, oh my god, how I wish there's a studio open, how I wish I could rent equipments, that will just dig my grave deeper and deeper and deeper, which is not a good luck. So yeah.
It helps us practice resource filmmaking. I get to stretch my imagination further. Like, I never imagined using a fridge light when I'm filming, and yet I did. I guess it's a nice practice for in the long run in case you ever need to make a low budget film in the future or a no budget film in the future. Another benefit is chance for people like me who have struggled talking to people to be able to somehow get out of our circle, get to know other people, and we don't have like the chance to be so intimidated because we really do not see them. And the other benefit too is I get to sleep more, so.
There must be some way out of here.
I guess just try to stay focused on what you like and try to put everything you have into use and stay strong, stay positive.
I think we have bragging rights, like, hey, we finished being a film student during a pandemic and none of you bitches has ever done that besides us. So so I don't think that was such an advice even, but like, hang on there and we'll get through this together.
God, I'm not great at advice. But what can I say? I don't know, just don't be afraid to get out of your comfort zone.
There must be